A real mystery. He's eluded Oregon authorities for more than 3 decades. A man serving a lengthy prison sentence for victimizing a child escapes into the woods.
And the FBI, U.S. Marshals, and the Oregon Department of Corrections still working to bring him to justice. Our Amy Frazier has tonight's KOIN 6 Unsolved.
His name is Leslie Charles Dawson. Dawson escaped the Oregon prison system in 1986 and has never been caught.
He is a fugitive from the Oregon Department of Corrections that did some pretty heinous crimes to a little girl.
For 33 years, Dawson's victim has lived not knowing where her abuser might be or when he might turn up.
There's no conclusion for her. There's no end for her until he is apprehended and in custody and does the time that he was sentenced to.
In January of 1986, Dawson was confined to the Oregon State Penitentiary. His sentence, 10 years for sexually abusing a family member in Lynn County.
He abused her from the age of 10 to 13 on an almost daily basis. He also gave her numerous different kinds of drugs.
He started out a model inmate at the maximum security prison.
He stayed there, he worked in the kitchen, he kept his nose clean.
So much so, after just 6 months, he was transferred here to the Oregon Department of Corrections South Fork Forest Camp, designed to teach prisoners life and work skills. The facility no longer allows prisoners convicted of sex crimes, but in the 80s, Dawson qualified.
He met minimum qualification, and so we sent him out to the South Fork Forest Camp in TILLAMOOK, and he was here for a few months before he decided to leave.
Kind of gives you an idea of the setting he would have been in at the time.
Yes, very small cabin.
October 7th, 1986, corrections officers counted Dawson in his cabin at 4 a.m., but at their next inmate count at 6 a.m., he was gone.
We don't have any indication that anyone helped him.
Dawson disappeared into the forest.
He also has a bit of an obsession with the military and survival skills. He has a great knowledge of weaponry and how to protect himself. So he has from the beginning been somewhat of a threat. So that's why we have U.S. Marshals and FBI involved.
In fact, Dawson has been featured on the FBI's most wanted list.
Has he had contact with anybody over the years?
After he escaped in 1992, we believe he wrote letters to his parents that told about where he was, what he was doing, changed his hair color, maybe some plastic surgery was mentioned in those letters. Those letters were turned over by his sister in 1999, but no real facts to follow up to say that that's actually what happened.
There were photographs with those letters, including this photo.
He told his parents that he was in the military in the Philippines, but we were never able to confirm that he actually was.
If he's still alive,
he absolutely could have lived under a fake name with a whole new identity, with a whole new family.
Dawson would now be 73 years old.
So we have some pictures here of him when he was originally incarcerated with us, and then the age progressions show a couple different variances of what he could look like today.
Take a close look at the photos.
Think about who he's described as, this man that had an obsession with military, both within the United States and in the Philippines. His obsession with weapons and survival gear. If any of those things trigger, a tip would be most appreciated.
In Tillamook, Amy Frazier.
This is a puzzle we'll solve.
KOIN 6 News.
And authorities say Dawson has connections to Illinois, California, and Louisiana, but could be anywhere. If you have a tip on this case, you're asked to call the Oregon Department of Corrections Inspector General's hotline. You'll find that number on KOIN.com.
And they always say any tip, no matter how small it is, could always help. Natasha, back now.